Hello everyone, welcome to another Transformers haul vid. Well, almost all Transformer, more bootfair haul vid I should say. Now, where shall I start? Well, before I get any further, I will sort of recap on the last vid I did. I picked up a few odds and ends in my last Transformer haul, which I dug out the figure what they went with. So just to show you, I got the gun for scatter shot. One of the missiles turned out to be for him as well, and the planet key. So really great to find the bits for him. Just missing one of the missiles now, but hopefully I'll pick that up in time. So just have to nearly complete another figure. Now getting to this week's haul, I'll start with the non-transformery bits, which there aren't that many actually. It's sort of like, well, they're close, let's put it this way. The first thing isn't Transformer, but again is a classic 80s toy, and it's another Zoid. And this is a Red Army Hell Runner, I think they called him. I think he's missing a gun for his back, which it would have been nice to have the complete bit, but you never know. That's another thing I might pick up in time. The motor unfortunately is sort of packed up on this guy, it just about sort of clicks, but it's not got the guts in it to make him walk, which is a little bit of a shame. Does have his pilot, as you can see in there. Really nice, really good little find. A lot of the stickers are still on there and pretty well intact, and he cost me a grand total of 50p, so not really that much to break the bank. And strangely enough, was from the same woman who sold me the other Zoid the other week. Now either they're having a clear out, or she's actually a bit of a dealer and she's finding odd bits. But it was all bagged up. It was in pieces, so I had to put him together, but he went together fine. And yeah, not bad at all. I mean, if she wants to find any more 50p, I'm quite happy to pick them up off her. Just about got a bit of movement out of him there, but yeah, really nice. Might well pick up more of these if I come across them, but this is the only second Zoid I've ever found at boot fairs, so it's not the most common thing to find. Sometimes you find the odd bit, so never know, I might find the parts to either finish him, or might even find some more. Now to more sort of transformery type goodness. The first thing I've found harkens back to the G1 era, but isn't G1, isn't actually a Hasbro product, as will become apparent. It is actually a knockoff, but it's quite an endearing knockoff because it is styled along the old G1, sort of like, what do you call it, the not the basic Decepticons, the actual first three, but the more deluxe Decepticon line. And it's not bad. The plastic quality is appalling, the joints are appalling. It's definitely something where I'd need to toy with it to get the joints tight, because if I shake it you can see how loose it is. But the plastic's not horrendous. It's not exactly pound shop sort of toy sort of territory. But yeah, it is very, very reminiscent of the G1 Deluxe Insecticons, and it could well find its place in my collection just for the fact it is a really good homage to those sort of toys. So not brilliant, but a bit of fun, and that was just in amongst some other ones that I've picked up. Now I will give a total at the end of this of what I paid out over the weekend, but yeah, just a little bit of fun. Now the next one, I am not sure, I haven't done my research yet, so I'm not sure if this is actually a Transformer. Again, it could be a kind of KO, but if it is, it's not bad, and it is done very, very close to the Beast Wars line of toys. So I'm going to have to bow to the sort of more knowledgeable YouTubers such as Ray and that, who I must admit I never did a video Ray made me do it, because Ray's never quite made me buy anything. But let's just say he's not exactly discouraged me either, so I'd say Ray encouraged me. But he might know, or one of the other guys out there, and that is this little guy. Now he turns into a type of scarab beetle, and he's gold and he's got sort of brown on his back with red sore spots. Can't find any markings on him, which kind of makes me think, is he a knockoff? But if he is, he's a really good one, because he's actually made of decent plastic. The joints are all good, actually stiff, but the face, I don't know, that didn't quite look quite right for Transformers. But I don't know, so until I've actually done the research on, unless one of you guys know, that's a little bit of a mystery. The only thing that's missing from what I can tell is a little antenna when he's in insect mode, which sort of is at least waist height. Looks like that's broken off or something like that. But yeah, a nice little Decepticon, for want of a better word. Yeah, so interested to actually find out if anyone knows anything about that one, because there's no markings, nothing, no spark crystal, no Decepticon or Autobot logos. It looks like there was some sort of place, if I bring that in, and zoom, almost like some place to stow something at the back there, maybe some weapons, which again doesn't really figure with a knockoff, so I'm thinking it could be a Beast Wars toy. Anyway, so there's that one. Now putting them out of there over that way, so I know which ones I've shown you and which ones I haven't, lose me track. Next one is an incomplete, so this is another work in progress. Now if I'm correct, this is the first Pterosaur, or if not, it's a recolour of that Transformer. Basically the dinosaur mode's there, but if I turn it over you can see he's got his legs tucked up, but he'll have no arms, so when he actually transforms he's going to be armless. Oh, joke there. But yeah, it's still quite nice. Still quite nice in beast mode anyway, so again, it's another thing I'll keep my eye out, and if I can find his arms, that'd be great, because I know this is more like one of the basic figures from Beast Wars, but good all the same. Another one which is sadly missing a ironically an arm and a leg, but I didn't spend an arm and a leg on him. Oh dear, drum roll. Oh, and his tail I think as well, is Beast Wars Rattrap, the original one. Again, you know, in beast mode you can sort of get away with the fact that he's missing bits, but it is, again, it's apparent. You can see the empty ball joints there, but again, it's one, if I pick up the other bits I'll sort them out. Now the next one, I'm trying to remember the name, it's something like Stink Bomb. I know it's not Stink Bomb, but it's something like that. And I know he's sort of like something like a skunk. Now again, he's missing a leg, and I think there would have been like a tail weapon. I think he's a transmetal, and you can see his little pink face there underneath. I'm assuming it's a he. But yeah, again, nice little figure, missing a couple of bits. All of these were in a box together, so I didn't know whether or not they were all complete. A lot of bots were hidden parts, so I was having to sort of sort through and put them back together like I did on the box last week. So you take that little bit of a gamble that some of the ones have got missing bits, but again, it's worth hanging on to. It's near enough there that if I find another one I can soon sort it out. Again, another one which I know actually was in bits, but I didn't actually care because it had the part I need to finish, one I found I think a few weeks ago, and it's Air Hammer, something like that, Sky Hammer, I can't quite remember, but again it is a Beast Wars line Transformer, nearly all there. He's missing, if I should get him basically transformed, he's missing one of his arms, but he does have the head. Now I picked one of these up not so long ago, as I say, but it was missing this back part, so again, between the two of them, that's another figure completed, so that's great. And of course I can amalgamate the best of the parts from it to actually make a really good one. Again, another one missing bits, but again it's one of the ones where I can use bits to repair other ones, and again it's another little Spittle, which is the old Decepticon frog. I think he's Decepticon anyway. Still good, find the parts, again gives me a chance to sort out the ones. I think I've picked up 2 so far, so it's mainly legs what are the issue with him. Now getting on to, let's see which way we'll go. Well, another part I found, and this is an interesting sort of part of this haul, I found this in the box as well. Now this is the weapon, of course, to, I'm trying to think of his name, depth charge. Now this is his gun, which would fire 2 yellow missiles out the front. Now this was in the box and I was a bit gutted because, of course, if it's in the box, the kid probably had it. Somebody's beat me to it and brought that one, probably for a kid, so he's playing with it somewhere. A little bit gutting because depth charge is one I'd like to pick up, but always nice to pick up the gun. Now moving on to the other ones, what are now a little bit bigger, missing a few bits. In the box as well, missing one arm and one beast leg, which is a sort of detachable weapon leg going by the fitment. I actually found Polar Claw. Now what's left of him is in actually pretty good nick. Like I say, he's missing one of the animal legs, which that one's still there, sort of doubling up kind of as an arm at the moment. Got one of his robot arms, but unfortunately this ball joint should have another robot arm on it. But a little bit disappointing, you know, the rest of it wasn't there. But again, it's worth picking up. It's not discoloured, not sort of dirty, not even marked. So pick it up, and if I find another one that's a bit bad but it's got the other bits, I can sort it out. So again, it's worth picking up those parts. An unusual figure actually to pick up. I haven't actually seen a lot of these figures actually at boot fairs before, so it's always good to find some new ones. Now another one, and I do wish this one had been complete, because even though his chrome is a little bit worn, it is actually one I've been sort of looking for, because I thought it's quite a fun figure. Not the greatest actual figure, but still a good bit of fun. And it is, I think it's Cyber Shark from Armada, isn't it? Something like that, Armada or Energon. He's missing one of his side pieces for his tail, which would be on this side, on his left side, and he's missing his right arm, which is a bit of a pig. Oh, and the side fin for the shark from the, what would that be, from the left side or right side? Right side if it's in fish mode, in shark mode. But other than that, the actual basic robot mode's not in bad nick, so again it's one it's worth hanging on to. I might be able to sort him out. I'll pop him back over there. Again, another one sadly missing a few bits. Obviously these have been well played with, the fact they're missing limbs, but not well to look after, let's put it that way. I think, I'm not sure, I might need again somebody's knowledge of Beast Wars, who's better than mine. Now, is that Inferno from the Transmetal line, or am I getting him confused with Inferno? I know he turns into a big red ant anyway. Now, I picked him up again, he was in the box. The chrome is beautiful. It's in fantastic condition. The bulk of the actual robot mode's pretty much there. The only real things what are missing from him, if he had a weapon, it would be that. And of course all these ball joints should have lovely sort of goldy colour bronze legs. Now he's got one leg. He does have his antenna, which are on the back, but like I say, what's left of him is actually in really nice nick, so these legs are something else I'll have to be looking out for. But again, really nice, and actually in robot mode it doesn't hugely detract from the fact that he hasn't got them at the moment. So still sort of displayable, and actually the chrome's grey on him. Love the Transmetal line. Talking of Transmetals, and again sadly missing the odd part. It's a couple of whole legs and half a leg, but I actually managed to pick up Black Arachnia in the Transmetal line. Now she's even got her weapon, which is like a retractable claw type thing, like a grappling hook. So that was fantastic to find that at the bottom of the box. But she's missing half of one of the normal spider legs there, and on the silver part you've got ball joints each side. Now if they were little legs or claws or something like that, missing those ones as well, so that's a little bit of a shame. But other than a tiny little bit of chrome wear here and there, hardly anything, no. In pretty good nick. and obviously minus a couple of little legs, but again that's something I might be able to find in time. But again, in robot mode doesn't really make a lot of difference, and still sort of displayable actually, so not bad and quite a good find. So chuffed to find that one. It's one I wasn't as aware about as well. I mean, I did kind of know she was in the series, but I hadn't seen the toy before, so it was a good pickup. Now getting to the more complete items, as this hasn't finished yet. Where shall I go? I'll go small first again. Now, a weird little figure, and it's bizarre, let's put it this way. I haven't quite figured out quite how he fully transforms properly, so if this isn't quite right, sort of don't hold it against me. Optimus Minor. Now that is a weird little bot in either mode, but again, little transmetal, lovely condition, can't see any damage, any chrome wear, anything like that, so again, great little pickup, but weird little robot, weird. That is some of the strangeness that you do find with the Beast Wars line. Some things are way out, and these are no exception. Now I'm not sure about this one's name. Now, I'm guessing it's Bantor, but I might be wrong because it's like a baboon, and I seem to remember that name sticking in my mind. Now that's a lot of kibble hanging off an arm. Even G1 standards are probably better than that, so again that is a little bit weird, and of course you've got a lot of kibble on that side because you've got a baboon's head for a shoulder. But again, all in all, it's a tidy little bot in the actual main robot mode, and quite a bit of fun. Again, if you don't take them too seriously, it's not a bad little robot, and it's more of a sort of scout size sort of figure anyway. But ingenious transformation on the waist, that's all I will say about him. Now, as far as I can tell, unless he had a little weapon which I'm missing, which I can't really see what that would be, to be honest, because everything seems to be there, so what it is I'm not sure, but he has got holes in his hands, so there might have been something. But pretty much complete, and very nice stiff joints as well, which is a nice thing to know, that even though that's been played with, it's surviving well. The next one is very weird, but I must admit, seriously, it puts a smile on my face, as you can see. Puts a smile on my face every time I pick it up, because it is just so weird that it is funny. And I think it's Gator, again from the same sort of size line in Beast Wars. A sort of alligator with a shell. It's kind of like a dinosaur, so I can kind of let that slip. The transformation's hilarious in so much as it's got a big shell on its arm which would negate him using anything, so it's make a good shield I suppose, and it is removable, so okay, we'll go with that sort of weapon mode. But it does have a crocodile's bum as a weapon. The guns come out of it just about where its backside would be, so that's just weird, and a huge great head sticking out the side of one shoulder as well. But again, it's a funny little thing, but in great nick, and again it's a clever little transformation on that size bot. Again, it's sort of scouty class sort of size. Lovely condition though, and good little gimmick as well. I will do a review on some of these at some point, because they are worthy of it. But again, very way out. The drugs must have been passing out quite frequently at Hasbro when these were being designed. Possibly they were putting cocaine instead of sugar or sweetener into the coffee at that period of time, but yeah, okay. Now the next one, actually I shouldn't go with him, he's a little bit bigger. I'll go with the next one, which is smaller. Not sure of the name, I think it's something like, is it Slapper or something like that? I know that sounds bad, but I'm sure it's something similar to that if it's not that. Which is like a type of mantis creature, though he's only got 2 legs. Great little gimmick where his arms go together, which again is why I think it's something like Slapper. Great little bot again, weird transformer, but again ingenious little transformation and a great bit of fun, great bit of Beast Wars fun. So I mean, that is one side of Beast Wars. Although I hadn't been a big collector of the line in the past, where I'm starting to pick up these bots, I do kind of get where a lot of the other collectors have a fondness for these. They do add quite a bit of variety to the Transformers line, but again, nice little pickup. Now again, in the same box as this was, one child's collection basically. I think I've sort of like just about got this transform right. It was a little bit fiddly, and he's missing the missiles, I think, which would be the old push out type, and it's Beast Machines, if I'm correct with the line. Beast Machines Mirage, and again, pretty good, not bad. It's probably better in vehicle mode. The robot mode's a little bit, if any, sort of a little bit so-so, but yeah, not bad at all really. And again, I'm not going to argue at the sort of prices I'm getting them at boot fairs. The next one is a very weird bot. Now it's weird in the program as well, and it did improve when they got to more the transmetal lines and stuff. But it is the basic sort of deluxe-ish size figure of the Beast Wars Cheetor. Now as far as I can tell, he is actually complete. He has got his, again, cat bum gun. It's the best way I can describe it. It is the backside of a cat with a tail, but the gun is in the tail come sort of bum area. What can I say? It's in his backside. Yeah, weird. And of course he's got a huge cat's head right on his chest where you can't actually see over it. So that's again really, really weird. But it kind of works, you know. It's Beast Wars, it's a little bit quirky, it's a little bit, you know, G1 had its quirks and its odd sort of like transformations and its odd bots, but that's a lot of kibble. I mean, that's basically you're wearing a cat. Yeah, it's weird. You've got cat legs hanging off your back, cat face on the front of you, gun, what's a cat's backside. But hey ho, the transformation's quite clever, and again, in natural beast mode, it's reasonable, apart from the fact I've never seen a cheetah with legs that fat. But, you know, he might have cellulite problems. But again, not bad for just a random one in a box. Now getting to the next one, this one's got a little bit of chrome wear, but I believe again is complete or near complete, as far as I can tell, until I've done again like my research into him. But he has got more chrome wear, which is a little bit of a shame. But it is Romulus from the Transmetal line, so obviously he's a Transmetal Ram when he's transformed. Again, a little bit of a weird figure. If it's not quite transformed correctly, again I've sort of improvised as I've been fiddling around with him. But yeah, it's still quite good. There's still something about them. Again, it's that sort of G1 thing. Even though some of them are poor, you kind of think, yeah, I can see what they were trying to do, and you can use your imagination to what it's supposed to be. But it's still quite fun anyway. So that's Romulus. And then the last one, what was in the box. Now this was one that I've picked up a incomplete one before, which has been a bit tatty, and this one's actually in pretty good nick and virtually complete, which the bit what's missing doesn't really matter that much. And it is Transmetal Optimus Primal. The chrome is beautiful on this. It's hardly got any chrome wear at all on either on the knee parts, or if I lift that up a bit, on the chest. Again, it's like it's come out of the package. And of course this one has the sort of mace weapons, which would be the missiles. The only bit missing from this guy is the little gun to fire them off, which, okay, that would be nice, but it's not the end of the world. And of course he's got the robot head, whereas the other one I picked up before only has the ape head. So again, it's a bit of a shame on the last one, and also it was missing a bit off the leg as well. But that's great, and that whole lot so far sent me back a grand total of £5 from that one box. And there are a couple of odd little odds and ends, odd little legs, odd little bits and bobs, which I won't bother showing you. It's literally just going in the spare box. It's just a few odds and ends of other bots, which there was actually a double of Gator. There's a sort of almost like his torso and a spare shell. If anyone needs a spare shell for Gator, that's something I do have. But yeah, showing the other little bits to finish these guys off wearing in there, but again, not the end of the world. I might find those parts in time. But then after I'd been to the boot fair and I'd picked up these guys, went to the next one, and again, wasn't a great deal going around this next boot fair. It's still about the same size as the others I've been to, quite a largish one. But there is a regular guy there who does have odds and ends. Now, at first I thought he had nothing, and then I picked up 2 items off him. Now the first one, and I'll do this one first, was actually something, I don't actually have the transformer, I don't have all of the parts for this one, but I picked up a shell for a G1 Pretender from him. Now it's double header, I believe it is. It is literally just the shell, there's no accessories, and that I really did have a good hunt through, trust me, through every single box he had, just in the off chance that where he picked this guy up. He's a kind of little bit of a dealer, the guy, and just on the off chance he actually picked up any of the other bits, if it was in a toy box with other bits. I did hunt through all of the boxes he had. Obviously first thing I went for is open this up to see if there was anything still inside, but unfortunately Robot's not there anymore. But it cost me a grand total of £1, so it's still a good deal just for getting a Pretender shell. And again, he's a little bit dirty at the minute, so if he doesn't look perfect, that's all it is. The actual paint on him is actually perfect. There is virtually no paint wear at all on any of it, and all the clips are good, so that's one that I'll have to complete in time. But the thing I found last, and I nearly missed it because it was tucked away in amongst with some other toys, and again where I was searching through looking for bits for double header, I actually found, and this again shows how weird boot fairing can be. You can not find something for, how long have I been doing this now, a couple of years? Can't find something for years. You find a weapon in the morning, a bit later that morning you find the figure it goes with. Tucked away just behind a box, this guy was laying there in the beast mode, just sitting there. Only pieces missing, again of course it's the usual thing, the discs are missing what fire out of his mouth, and his tail weapon, which again that's something I can pick up in time. But all in all, the chrome's in good nick. Tiny little bit of wear just here and there, but nothing great. There's a couple of screws that are a little bit rusty, so I believe this guy's been underwater at some point, hence he is a sort of manta ray. The mechanism still works fine inside for launching the discs, so it's just a matter of finding some discs, find a tail, and maybe find the missiles for the gun, and then this guy's going to be complete. But as you can see, he's in pretty tidy nick. Chrome's good, still got his name on there, all of his limbs and everything were there. So I was amazed to actually finally pick this guy up. So fantastic find, and again weird coincidence. You pick up a random part where you think, oh damn, I've missed the figure, and then you find the figure at different boot fairs. So it's not like he picked this up from the people who were selling it at the other one. I could imagine, yeah, a dealer walks around, picks up stuff at a boot fair and then takes it to his own stall to sell, because that does happen. I've seen a lot of people doing that. But yeah, this guy couldn't have done it because it was several miles away and they would have been setting up at the same time in the morning, so it's weird. But I'm not knocking it. So absolutely fantastic find to get depth charge, and he cost me a grand total of £2. So my total haul, what did that come to? £8.50 for everything you've seen, plus a couple of odds and ends, like I say, what, just sort of scrap parts and that. Quite a good haul. Now I'm hoping this weekend coming, and I'm going to touch wood for luck. I've got possibly something on Saturday, a boot fair, there should be a big one on Sunday, plus the 3 which I got these parts at as well, so that's a total of 4 boot fairs. Plus, because it's a bank holiday, I think one of the boot fairs is doing another boot fair on the Monday as well, which usually gets manic if the weather's good on a bank holiday. So it could be 5 boot fairs that I'll go to this coming weekend, so I'm really hoping that I get some good stuff. I did see a few other bits which I didn't pick up. Now, one was a universe, I'm trying to think of the bot's name, I can't quite remember what the figure's called. It's a cement mixer, but they've done 2 colour versions of him. There's a green and grey version, sort of green and grey with a little bit of orange for Decepticons, and I think there's an orange and grey version for the Autobots. Quite a big figure, but he was missing the cement truck part, and I do actually have that figure, so it weren't worth picking it up for somebody else because it's only 50p, but without the main part to actually make the vehicle mode, and effectively it becomes his arm, that wasn't worth getting. And there was a Star Saber, I think it is, which is from the same line, Universe line, the white and sort of browny colour plastic A10 Thunderbolt one. Now I have actually got that figure as well, minus a couple of missing a couple of little minor parts off it, but this one was damaged, so again, not worth picking up for anybody. It's not even worth it for spare parts because they're not worth a great deal, and you can get a more complete one for less money if you really was desperate for one. But yeah, this I'm talking about not only missing parts, I mean snapped off parts, off wings and stuff, so even if you then happen to get the bits, you can't really complete it, you'd have to sort of rebuild it, so not the greatest thing to pick up. Saw a couple of little Cyberverse ones, but the real common stuff, little star screen, usual Bumblebee, and I think it was a little Jazz, what were missing bits. But other than that, not a huge amount of other bots or a huge amount of other toys knocking around. A lot of girls ones again, but not a great deal of toys. The only other thing I seem to find a few of recently have been Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, but I don't know them well enough to know if they're the vintage or whether they're the new ones. And again, it's that thing, even if I picked them up, I'm not bothered about them for myself. I don't know what other people have got, so I don't know what they're looking for. So again, is it worth shelling out money to then find I'm saddled with something nobody wants? So again, that's not really worth me picking up unless I know different. But anyway, I hope you've enjoyed this little haul, and went off on a little weird chatty tangent there. Hopefully in the near future, I won't say soon because I'll have other videos up before then, but could be some interesting news coming up in the near future of something that might make quite a change to not only my videos and possibly my displays. Anyway, hope you've enjoyed this look at what I've picked up, and feel free to subscribe and comment, and I shall see you again. Thanks for watching.